Welcome back to the Lit Lair, where we discuss contemporary romance. I am so excited about today because today begins our Christmas Extravaganza. So the next several videos will be Christmas books because 'tis the season, y'all. First book is The 12 Dates of Christmas by Jenny Bayliss. So Kate is a 34-year-old fabric designer who works from home, because of course she is. She lives in this tiny British village called Blexford, and she spends her days taking pictures and hanging out in her best friend Matt's cafe, working, checking in on her dad, having tea, and just living a lovely British life. Her best friend Laura basically pressures her into doing this 12 Dates of Christmas event that a local dating agency has set up. That's kind of the premise for the book, that she's going to go on 12 dates in 3 weeks during the Christmas season in the hopes of kind of finding someone. I was really excited to read this book because my absolute favorite niche is British rom-com. That is my jam. That is what I love above all. When I heard about this book, I was really excited. It is all there. The British Christmas is heavy, but that is really kind of the best thing about the book. All the British Christmas. It's all here. The hot toddies, the mince pies, the Christmas caroling, the Christmas baking, the cute British village that looks like it can be a Currier and Ives print or a Thomas Kincaid painting or one of those British villages on the chocolate boxes or the little tin of sugar cookies. And it's so cute and quaint. Everything is just so with this little village, and that part is wonderful. There's Christmas caroling, there's Christmas baking, even a gingerbread decorating contest. That is the selling point and the reason to read the book. Beyond that, I have to say is kind of disappointing. If you're looking for a Christmas romance, I would say this doesn't fully deliver on that promise. For me, the 12 dates vehicle is a bit distracting and not really fulfilling for me as a reader. First of all, who the heck has time to go on 12 dates in 3 weeks before Christmas? That's all beside the point, because when does the romance genre ever fit into reality? Like, we can just kind of forget that part. The part that's disappointing for me is you know what's going to happen on the first page. That doesn't even bother me, because when do we not know what's going to happen right away in a romance? So I'm not bothered by that either. It's the fact that I really want to know this backstory with Kate and Matt. What happened to them? They had some big fight back at uni, as they call it, right? We don't really know. It's all pretty vague. We don't get that story. Instead, we get this 12 date story where she's meeting all these different men, and that's fine and it's cute, but really it kind of takes away in my mind from the more intriguing and interesting story of her backstory with this guy that she grew up with in this small village. So the 12 dates, some of the ideas for the dates are really cute. There's this snowy hike one, which was my favorite. I really liked that one. There's like wine tasting, and there's an escape room, but she does some seriously questionable things on these dates. On one, specifically problematic behavior occurs. She goes out to this club on this salsa dancing thing, has a great night, and all that's fine, but she finds herself the only person in a snowy parking lot at 2:30 in the morning, not a soul around, her car won't start, and there's these drunk guys coming through the parking lot, and she has to slink down in her seat of her car so as not to be noticed by them. I'm thinking, this has no place in a Christmas romance. This is scary stuff, and this is problematic behavior. It's her own fault that she ended up in that situation. The guy specifically said, I will help you get home, and she's all, no, don't worry about it. And so here she is in this parking lot at 2:30 in the morning when her car won't start, and these guys, it made me, that was not a good feeling to read that. It sort of made my heart pound, and it was a very uncomfortable, and I think that's really problematic behavior, and I didn't like it at all. I'm thinking, okay, why not just make all the dates fun, crowd friendly, appropriate behavior with strangers? Her friend Matt says something to that effect during one of their conversations. Obviously Matt has a problem with this 12 date thing, but for a different reason, of course. But one of the reasons is she's meeting these strangers, and he says, dude, they could be rapists, they could be stalkers, you don't know anything about these guys. He shows his kind of concern, and she's all, oh, mind your own business, I can take care of myself. The last thing I'll say about the love story is that it feels a bit incomplete to me, because of course we know what's going to happen on the first page of the book. At the end, it doesn't really wrap up nice. Kate kind of says, but we could talk later, and I'm thinking, nah, go ahead and talk now, because I want to hear this conversation. This is why I've been reading the book. I want to hear the discussion of the misunderstanding. You think about a book like The Hating Game, and okay, yes, I know, that's like looking at a perfectly adequate painting and saying, oh, but have you seen the Mona Lisa? So I'm not trying to compare the books or anything like that. I'm just saying you get the conversation at the end where they discuss the misunderstanding. As a reader, that feels really good because you kind of, and you sigh this contented sigh of relief like, all right, and it's all this nice little pretty bow. But this book, it just kind of leaves you with this vague feeling of, well, okay, I didn't get to see that. I didn't get to hear that conversation talked about all the ways they have been misunderstanding each other, and that's kind of a letdown in my opinion. And so I would give this a 3 out of 5. I think it's a cute story in a lot of ways. It has some laughs, but read it for the British Christmas ambiance. That is the reason to read this book. It's so quaint. It's this snow-dusted British village and on every page, and you get the little park and the little Christmas trees and the Christmas carols and the baking and all that. It's a book for the senses when it comes to the sort of holiday season trappings in this little British village. I think for the actual like love story and some of those other elements, I didn't really love it, but some readers do love the 12 dates. They think the dates are really cute, and they are. Some of them are really good. Like I said, the hike is a really good one, but I think the problematic behavior that occurs on more than one of them, for me, kind of dulls a lot of the enjoyment of it. So I know I was a little tough on the story element here. So if you want something with the British Christmas element, you can't go wrong with this. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this book. And as always, any ideas for book recommendations, leave them in the comments.